If we look at the cost of inference, it's dropped by basically 90% over the course of the last year. It's dropped by closer to 99% over the course of the last 2.5 years. So talk to us about the input, like what's driving the unit cost of inference. And if I take a like for like, let's call it a unit of intelligence,
Yep.
whether it's a basic question I ask or whether it's a little bit more complicated question I ask, do you expect that unit cost to continue to go down? And if so, why? What are the inputs to that unit cost?
So the inputs are, I think, the following three major things. The supply chain, right? Like, what can you do across the supply chain, which is, mostly centered around like Taiwan today, TSMC and the different packaging technologies and the lithography technologies that they buy from others. The innovation that your engineers can perform, right? And what I would say is like the amount of power you have, right? And so like those are the kind of things we're talking about. And so what we see today is, lithography technology is starting to reach a limit, right? We're not going as fast as we used to, right? And so we're not getting sort of the Moore's law, so we have to exceed that. So we're exceeding that in a couple different ways. We're exceeding that by making bigger and bigger chips. And so if you see that, these chips become quite large now, which is very exciting, but also lead to a lot of interesting issues. Cerebras, as Brad's been talking about, their chips are kind of sized like a pizza box, right? Versus, CPUs you guys all would have seen. And so there's a lot of energy and technology there. Is like how big of a package can you make and how much silicon can you pack in there? Then there's the innovations. And so the innovations is really where we're seeing most of this work happen, right? Because that's hand in hand with the models, right? We're seeing this really interesting force today, and there was a bunch of stuff that, I don't know if it was leaked or put out there. I think Elon is at the center of some of that, which is they're discussing like these newer models are approaching like 1 trillion to 10 trillion parameters. And those 10 trillion parameter models go back to the first thing I told you. That's in the fundamental flop calculation of how much compute it takes to generate a token. So as fast as companies like us are making better and better technology, through lithography upgrades, through memory bandwidth upgrades, through innovation and how we lay out our circuits, through quantization efforts, MVFP4 was another one. The models are getting bigger, and then the demand is increasing. So I'm going to put it back to you. There's this three it's a cube, but it's really difficult to navigate right now because all the factors are growing in ways which are really challenging. So the demand keeps going up, the models keep getting bigger, and as fast as we're innovating, even if we get a 50x over 5 years, the models and the demand are faster. Yeah. And that's why we're seeing, this unique phenomenon like H100 prices, if you're building a startup or using them, they're going up, in fact.